How much time in advance should a facility give us before we can come out to transport? Is it 4 hours? Is it 6 hours? We are about to get a contract with blank facility. Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group, and you are thebroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. And now homecareaccess.com, which leads me to our first email. So you are selling home care now? I found you online while searching for how to start a medical transportation business and wanted to learn more, but now you're trying to sell me home care? I'm confused and not sure what you are selling and if this is even real. Well, a couple things. First and foremost, go watch a lot of my videos and you're going to understand two things. A, I don't sell anything. My staff, I make it abundantly clear, we don't sell anything. So when people contact, what do you sell? Nothing. Go read, go learn. Go see what we offer, what we provide, and then in typical fat man fashion, I always use the buffet analogy. You go up and you select whatever is best for you to learn. So all I do is present opportunity. You either get it, you choose, you see the opportunity, and then you choose what works best for you. We don't push, we don't sell. I don't care, I don't have to, I'm good. That's the beautiful thing about being financially free and independent and not having to kiss anyone's butt, which leads to point B. I fully understand and appreciate that I am the absolute worst online seller. I talk about politics, I talk about religion, I don't kiss anyone's butt. I'm just terrible. And I know some of you out there, you are working desperately so hard to becoming social media influencers. You're working desperately hard, giving it the old college try to build your LinkedIn page and your Facebook page to become social media experts. And in so doing, you say all the light and fluffy, superficial things of inspiration to make everyone's heart feel so good. Me, I'm the worst motivator out there. If your stuff sucks, it sucks. I'm gonna tell you. I know I don't take out thousands of dollars of cash out of my bank accounts to put them here for photo ops. You know, I'm not renting fancy cars and jets because I don't need to. That's not my gig. So this is why I'm the world's worst online seller / social media influencer. I'm the worst. So we do not sell you anything. You either see the opportunity or you don't. In regards to home care, look man, I've been involved with home care for eons. Probably about 40% of the client providers I work with either started out in home care and diversified into NEMT, or they started NEMT and then diversified into and expanded into home care. So that's why, let's see, I'm not even sure what edition we're on for my home care manual, How to Build a $1 Million Home Care Agency, but I've been in this game for a long time. How to Build a $1 Million Home Care Agency is all predicated upon leveraging your NEMT business to grow and scale your own private pay home care agency. Home Care Access, I partnered with Marty and Jeannie Rue because they have a very unique business model. They service a lot of private pay clients as well, but they do a lot of contract work, which affords them more money, more flexibility, very unique business model. They've been able to, like, for example, this is a great case in point. They don't have a recruiter or a full-time marketer. A lot of home care agencies literally have someone on staff that is going out, recruiting, building. They don't have that. They don't have to because they get so much government contract work that just keeps feeding them work. So as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, you have to clearly understand dealing with government contracts in the NEMT space could not be more different than government contracts in the home care. They could not be more different. Government contracts, especially if you're dealing with Medicaid in the NEMT space, you're dealing with an added layer of bureaucratic nonsense, rules and regulations, a la Medicaid brokers. They're out to make money. They're going to squeeze you to the best of their ability because they care about their bottom line, not yours. When it comes to government contracts in the home care industry, there's no such thing. And as I mentioned before in previous videos, if anyone in the home care space ever tries to broker you work, run from them as fast as possible. It's laughable, unnecessary, unwarranted, and someone's just trying to squeeze you. There's so much work in the home care space with government contracts. There are no brokers. Those agencies, they got to get their people placed. The last thing they have time for is a broker. They're not going to waste their time going through a broker to then get their people placed. Marty and Ginny, as I mentioned in a previous video, just in their county alone, as of that last video, they had over 500 people perpetually on a waiting list that they can't get placed. The last thing those government agencies are going to do is add another layer of bureaucracy a la brokers. And the other reason, several reasons, but another reason why I'm partnered with Ginny and Marty is because they're working with people for 120 days. The purpose of that is to get you placed with these government contracts similar to what they're doing. Now, obviously, government contracts are going to vary everywhere. Rates of reimbursement are going to vary. Within every state, there's multiple types of contracts. Their goal is to help get you to navigate those waters, get you involved, get you applied for, get you approved for those contracts. Some may take a little bit longer than 120 days, but chances are very good they're going to be able to get you approved in those contracts for 120 days. Again, they've been able to reduce their office staff. Their office staff has been cut almost in half the more they took on this government work because they're being fed so much work. They don't have to have these recruiters anymore. So all that did was, so can you make more money with private pay, with home care per client? Yeah. But with the government contracts, not only are they making good money, they're able to reduce their overhead staff. So it's been a win-win. So what are you trying to sell me? I'm not selling you anything. You either see the opportunity or you don't. My thing is this. Here's my thing. If you're new to this channel, here's my thing. Leverage NEMT. That's cool. That's great. But I'm not one-dimensional. I'm never going to be one-dimensional. I make more money in my broker business than I ever did in my NEMT. Boom. Right there. Flat out. I make more money in my broker business than I ever did in my NEMT business. Does that mean I don't love NEMT? Look, I've been in NEMT for a million years now, and obviously I'm well vested, involved in it because I work with so many of you, so many of my client providers who I do one-on-one with. So I still love NEMT. I love fighting the Medicaid brokers. I love that because they're so full of crap, and I love winning. My thing is this. I want you to be successful. I want you to make money. Hindsight being 2020, 5 years. It took me 5 years to put myself in a position where I was financially independent and free for the rest of my life, as long as I was smart and sensible with my money, and I was. And then I just continued to build and grow. This is far from get rich quick. I'm telling you right now. What I'm about to say is far from get rich quick. If you give yourself 5 years, if you follow the plan, if you trust the plan, and that has double meaning for some of you with wisdom, and yes, we're going to win. If you trust the plan, give yourself 5 years, you should be financially free on such a great trajectory. Money will never be an issue for you again, as long as you're smart and sensible. From there, you just build and grow. Let your money work for you. Then you just become rich. 5 years. So all I do is put opportunity and resources in front of you to be successful. You go up to the buffet, you choose whatever works for you. So what am I selling you? Nothing. Not a DAMN thing. Nothing. As a quick side note, for those of you, Don said most of these DVDs that we shipped out, so I think most of them have gone out. For any of you stragglers out there, any of you active licensees or working to become active licensees, if you haven't gotten the DVD answers, updates, and opportunities, email Karen at milliondollartransportation.com. She'll make sure you get that DVD. And as a quick side note, that DVD is about 50 minutes long. What I want to show you real quick. Now here is, so here's an update that we're doing. Okay, real quick. For those of you involved with youarethebroker.com, as I've always told you before, you're not going to bring contractors into your organization who are trying to big time you. These big guys who are established with 26-foot, 28-foot 28-foot box trucks, and they're trying to big time you. I've been doing this for 30 years. Oh, my daddy and great granddad, they're going to try to big time you. You don't want those guys in your organization. However, we, in my broker business, we are in a situation now where we are bombarded, and we're having to turn work away, which we do not want to do. What we're doing is we're modifying our Express Moves portal. So this right here is, you won't see this yet, but you will soon because it's still in the beta testing. Everything we do, we test in my business first. When we see that it works, we got the methodology down, and we know that it's working on the software, then we push it through to all of you. This right here is what you're going to see coming. So on TP2, which is the Express Moves, you're going to see this commission option where you can either pay a fixed amount or a percentage for certain contractors. The reason we're doing this is because we're in a position where we're having to turn business away, which, why do we want to keep doing that? People are moving out of these Looney Tune states, coming to more business friendly states and all that kind of stuff. We are having to turn stuff away. We don't want to do that. This is in response to that, and it allows us to bring in contractors that otherwise would never join our organization. They don't want to be paid commissions. They don't want to be paid percentages. So what we're doing here is we're putting ourselves in a position where, rather than have to turn down those calls, we literally take a booking fee. We'll take a $50 fee, or depending, it could be more depending on how big the move job is. We're going to take a flat fee, and then from there we push the work order to these contractors that otherwise wouldn't be in our organization. They love it. They use the software. They use the app. They get to navigate and process their work orders through the app. Let's say there was a $500 Express Move. We take a flat $50 fee. That contractor who otherwise would not be affiliated with our organization, we get to leverage him now. He's going to charge the customer the balance, the $450. He pays the merchant processing fees. We charge the $50 booking fee plus the $10 customer surcharge because it processed over the phone. So really, we're getting 60 bones. And the same thing applies to, let's say it was a $250 job. Let's say it was a $1,000 job. We're still going to take a fixed fee, $50. That contractor who otherwise would not be affiliated with us because he doesn't want to do commission, he still gets to go through, charge whatever he wants to the customer. He processes it. He pays all the merchant processing fees, or unless he charges cash, whatever. We don't care at that point in time. So we are just technically a booking agent, which I suspect one of these new guys that we've been doing this beta testing with, he's actually mentioned to us about just pushing everything through us. So we'll just take a booking fee out of everything he does, because they haven't been using an app or software. So hey, bring it on. So I want to share that with you, especially because up here during the lead generator, what we do is we have our dispatchers, when they're not taking calls, if there's any moments of downtime, they're using the lead generator to look for leads and bid on them and get the work. So it's been phenomenal. So this is active in our portal, but not yours yet. Once we've gone through complete beta testing, everything looks good, working good, we have our methodology, we're going to push it all out to you. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it, because now this gives you even, again, here's what I love about this. I'm 10, 11 years into my broker business, and we're still growing, doing this, innovating. I love it. I love it, man. And this right here actually came from feedback from my dispatchers. That's the best part about it. That's the best part about it. I don't even need to waste the brain cells to try to think this stuff up. They propose it, and I'm like, sounds good, let's do it. So, next email. This is from a great dude who I've been working with for a while. Great dude, keeps me on retainer, because and I love him, man. He asks me good stuff all the time. He won't hesitate to hit me up. This is actually from, I think, this Sunday. He sent me a great email, and again, he's one of my prime clients, so I responded to him pretty quick. They pushed the questions to me, and boom. He says, Joel, hope you're having a great weekend. Quick question: how much time in advance should a facility give us before we can come out to transport? Is it 4 hours? Is it 6 hours? We are about to get a contract with blank facility. They just called a few minutes ago for our one-way transport to pick up one of their patients. It's almost 5 p.m. here in blank location. I mentioned to the lady on the phone that they have to give us more like 4 hours advance notice so we could prepare. She hung up on me. Your feedback is appreciated, so I know how to handle this the next time. So what I explained to him, He's a newbie working hard. He's actually at the same time working to build his BLS division. This guy's a hustler and a worker, grinder. Absolutely love it. So as I explained to him, especially because you're going to be getting a contract with this facility, I wouldn't throw down the gauntlet. Like all reservations have to be made 6 hours in advance, 12 hours in advance. Some people always want 24-hour advance notice. Keep things in mind. A few things. Number one, where you are today, if you're starting with 1, 2, 3 vehicles, is not going to be where you're going to be at when you got 10, 12, 13, 20 vehicles. You're not going to be in the same place. Likewise, this email came in on a Sunday. Sunday, you're never going to have as many vehicles out there. Typically on Sundays, you're really only going to be doing like ER discharges or any individual transports that were scheduled in advance. You're not going to have a lot of ASAPs. This is kind of an anomaly. If this came Monday through Friday, kind of during regular doctor hours, your most busiest time, listen, if you got 10, 20 vehicles out there, chances are good you could accept an ASAP call. Maybe you can't go get it right now in 5 minutes, but you could tell them, hey, we could be there in 30 minutes. But again, this call came on a Sunday. He only has 2 vehicles in his NEMT fleet, 2 vehicles in his BLS fleet. Is he in a position to just drop everything and go get it? His drivers weren't on at that time. No, he's not. So they need more advance notice. But again, where you are now is not where you're going to be 6 months, a year, 2 years from now. And again, you got to consider, when is the call coming in? Is it Monday through Friday during regular business hours? Is it late at night? The other thing is, he's going to have a contract with this facility. So what's important about this, I told him, I said, I wouldn't make an issue so much out of this right now with the woman hanging up on you. But when you sign this contract, I would definitely bring this up and make it abundantly clear that they need to tell all their staff that this facility has signed this contract with this transportation provider. Here are the terms, so make sure you want to respect them, call them, give them advance notice, things of that nature. Especially if you have a contract, don't be hanging up on them. Which kind of leads to another side note, which is important. It's not that you want to be an a-hole to anybody, but you have to have boundaries. You absolutely have to have boundaries. There's no other way for me to put it other than people will crap on you because they're just going to look at you like you're a peon taxi driver. I'm just going to be honest with you. That's just the way it's going to be. Even when I had my business, and I already had a contract with the hospitals, I was doing well, making great money, there were times that if I went to transport someone, or if I was going to help a driver, if I was training a driver, for whatever reason, I would go on station. There were times where you just know they look at you like, you're POS. You're just a low-level taxi driver. And that's the way some of these people would look at you. And I'm like, dude, you're a doctor, but I guarantee I make more money than you. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's all about getting the job done, making your money. But I'm telling you, you have to have boundaries. These unit secretaries, these nurses, they'll hang up on you. They'll call you, and some people will call you, oh, well, your patient has been waiting for 30 minutes, or the patient's been waiting for 45 minutes, and they just called 5 minutes ago to let you know the patient's ready for pickup. This is why, if you're using Dispatching Made Easy, everything is documented and time-stamped and can't be changed. So it's going to happen. So there are times you have to establish boundaries by politely pushing back. So when someone calls and says the patient Susie Q is ready to be picked up, and they call at 12:05, then they call back at 12:08 and say the patient's been waiting for 45 minutes, you can literally say, well, you just called 3 minutes ago at 12:05. And after you do this a few times, they're going to realize you're on your A game. So don't be bullying me. Don't be trying to push on us like this. So you have to politely push back and establish these boundaries early on, so they don't treat you like some low-level peon taxi cab driver and you just, tread under their shoes. We're not taking that. We're in business to empower ourselves, not be someone else's bitch. So as I explained to him, once you sign this contract, so now is not the time so much to ruffle your feathers, make an issue of her hanging up on you. But make sure it's addressed. Whoever is signing that contract, then you bring it up. Bring it up at the signing. Say, listen, here's what happened last Sunday. We told them we couldn't accept this phone call or accept this immediate transport. She hung up on me. To ensure this doesn't happen in the future, now that we're signing this contract, please ensure that everybody throughout your entire organization, your staff, understands that we have this arrangement and this is our policy. This is what we agreed to. Establish those boundaries. So again, and going back to his main question is how much lead time do you give? Don't throw down the gauntlet. If you're signing a service agreement, depending on what that looks like, maybe you would do something like that. But I don't box yourself into, we need 6 hours. Because again, when you have 6 vehicles, when you got 10 vehicles, you got more flexibility. Hey, I can handle that ASAP call. Because if you have it in policy, if your policy is, well, we need 6 hours advance notice, well, guess what? They're not going to call you if they have an ASAP trip. So don't box yourself in. That's why, I tell people, make sure that whatever rules and policies you create, always leave yourself with an escape hatch. Always leave yourself with an escape hatch. Otherwise, some people will take advantage of it. So this, I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is kind of long, but this is a situation where a client provided a good dude. Here's another good dude who keeps me on retaining, working hard, love him. Met him in person. He went and picked up a vehicle, was driving through. Love him. Good dude. Working hard. So he technically is a contract carrier in his state. Now he's in the process of going through getting his common carrier permit. It's taking a little bit of time. But his question, he's doing some good stuff. So his question was, he's getting some of so this one vehicle in particular, in fact, I'm going to show you some pictures here. I love this stuff, man. I love people who are just doing their thing, making the right moves. So anyways, he has this Ford. Check this out, man. I love this, man. So he has this Ford, and it's a good layout. It's everything we want. I don't want to say he got this by accident, but I mean, it's an older vehicle, great position, great pay. Great price point, everything, and layout is ideal for what we want. It gives us the flexibility we need to do different things. So we had this vehicle in addition to some other ones. I said, look, we're rebranding his business. I said, look, let's get this thing painted. We're gonna get it lettered so all the vehicles look the same. Yada yada yada. And so he went and got a quote for $3,000. So here's his buddy. He's like, listen, man, you get the paint and the beer. And I'm gonna do this for $1,000 for you. I'm gonna hook it up. So I love this, man. He could have paid $3,000 to have it painted. Instead, here they are. Look, is this the ideal way to paint a vehicle? No. Are you gonna paint your own vehicle like this? No. But dude, the guys put it together for look at this, man. This is hard work. This is work, man. These dudes are pimping it out. And what's the end product look like? Boom, pimp juice. Pimp juice right there. So now we're going to letter this thing up. All his vehicles are going to look the same. He has some different vehicles. Now he's in a situation, he's in a unique situation, one of the few situations where I've told him, hey, we want minivans. So he has some minivans in his fleet because he's doing a lot of distance work. But now, like with this Ford vehicle, you see, we're going after some of his local contract work with hospitals and stuff. That's why we're getting the common carrier status. So anyways, his question was, if we letter these up now, what do I do if we letter these up now and our permit is pending and I start getting phone calls? And I said, listen, you don't fear that. If anything, and I told him, I said, man, as I always say, you want to leverage all that you can, good or bad. Leverage all that you can, good or bad. Because his concern was, okay, if we get all these vehicles lettered up with our name and all that kind of stuff on it, and I do start to get some calls, how do I handle it if technically I'm still under contract? I can only do contract carrier work. I can't do common carrier work. I said, that gives you the opportunity to explain to these people, hey, thank you so much for giving us a call. You document, you keep their information. And you be absolutely honest and transparent. Listen, we'd love to service your call right now. We can't because our common carrier contract is pending. As soon as it's approved, which should be very soon, we'll reach back out to you. We welcome the opportunity to service your need. But you have now engaged them. You've proved that you're honest, you're transparent. You've captured their name, their number, their information, their needs. You've got all that. especially if it was a facility. If a facility sees it and contacts you, think about this. If a facility contacts you, you can legitimately say, hey, we are not a common carrier. We are only a contract carrier, so we welcome the opportunity to service your needs. But guess what? We've got to have a contract because we're a contract carrier. So we need some type of service agreement. So I told them, if that happens, that's an outstanding scenario. Hit me up and I'll take care of it and I'll get you a service agreement ASAP. So it's one of those things you leverage all that you can, good or bad. What's the bad situation? I'm common carrier pending. I'm common carrier pending. I can't, transport the average person out there. But if they contact me, I get to harvest their information, start to establish that relationship, put them in my queue. As soon as we are approved, I can reach out to them. I look great, look honest, transparent. Everything's on the up and up. If it was a facility that contacts us, even better, because now we can say, hey, we'd love to work with you, but we can't have a contract because we are legitimately contract carrier approved, common carrier pending. So it's a win-win situation. So that's why, again, key point, leverage all that you can, good or bad. So some of these situations, and again, he's in a state where some states you don't have this. So again, every state is different. His state, you have to have the contract, then you got to get the common carrier. Other states, you don't have any of that stuff. So, again, I always go back to you play the hand that you're dealt. Play the hand that you're dealt. Listen, I'm going to have to cut these off here. I was going to try to get through a couple more emails, but I have the habit of just rambling and going off, so I apologize. But listen, do this. Again, think big picture. What do you need to do to grind it out for 5 years? 5 years, put yourself in a situation where you've grown the business, saved money throughout the course of the way, made a decent living, and now you sell it a multiple. What do you need? Now, I know some of you out there, you're going, real estate. Just last night, the reason I say real estate is because just last night I had dinner with 3 of my buddies and a mutual friend of ours. I hadn't talked to him in a while, but they told me, man, he is in a bad place right now because he's getting raked over the coals. He went all in on real estate and he's being destroyed. They were telling me about one of my buddies had lunch with him and he was telling him one of his tenants who pays him $3,000 a month for to rent one of his houses hasn't been paying him, and he won't even sign that waiver type thing or whatever it is. I'm not even in the real estate game anymore. I sold all my properties a long time ago. I'm just not into that thing. Anyways, he knows that because of the sleepy, creepy dementia patient with the cactus sidekick Medusa, that people are making bank. They're making more bank to sit at home. So his tenants, he knows, are making more money. They can afford rent, but they're not getting paid. He's not getting paid. People aren't paying it. And another guy, I was reading some stuff, another guy who's lost high 6 figures. Again, they're in New York. They're in our communist state, the People's Republic of New York. So as I go off on my tangent here, I mention this because, again, if you go 5 years, man, work hard for 5 years. But that's why everyone will real estate. Real estate is a good long play, man, but we are in a crazy time right now. And my buddy here is a classic example. He is tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars been destroyed because tenants are not paying because they haven't had to, and he cannot evict them. It's absolutely crazy. So that's why do not be afraid to build a service-based business. If you want to make money, the fastest way to make money is to go provide service. The fastest way to make money, go provide service. Is it get rich quick? No, I'm telling you 5 years. I'm telling you go at least 5, bust your butt for 5 years, build, grow, and scale for 5 years, sell it a multiple, take that bank, and then roll that bank and leverage it, let your money work for you. That is the magic formula. There ain't no get rich quick, I promise you. Follow the formula, trust the plan. When you trust that plan, we're going to win. When you do, I'll see you at the top.